Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing that your life is finally moving in the direction you've always wanted. Your mind feels clear, your goals feel possible, and instead of feeling stuck or overwhelmed, you feel focused and energized. Most people believe that massive life change requires massive effort. They think they need to completely transform their routines, wake up at 4 a.m., work 16 hours a day, read dozens of books, and somehow maintain perfect discipline. But what if the truth is much simpler? What if one small daily habit could start a chain reaction that transforms everything? This isn't motivational hype. This is how the human brain actually works. Our lives are not shaped by big decisions. They are shaped by small actions repeated every single day. The habits you practice daily silently build the future you're going to live in. Think about it. If someone spends just 10 minutes every day learning something new, in a year they have spent over 60 hours improving themselves. If someone spends 10 minutes every day complaining, scrolling social media, or thinking negatively, they have also spent 60 hours reinforcing negativity. The difference between success and stagnation is often just one daily habit repeated consistently, and the habit that has the power to instantly start changing your life is surprisingly simple. It is the habit of intentional daily reflection. Every day, taking a few minutes to pause, think, and ask yourself powerful questions. Questions like, what did I do well today? What could I improve tomorrow? What is the one thing that would move my life forward? Most people never stop to think about their own lives. They just react to whatever happens. But the moment you start reflecting daily, you take back control of your life, because awareness always comes before change. And the moment you become aware of your patterns, your habits, and your decisions, you gain the power to change them. That is where real transformation begins. If changing your life can start with something so small, then why do most people stay stuck for years? The answer is simple. They live their lives on autopilot. Every day looks the same. Wake up, check the phone, rush through the day, deal with problems, feel tired, distract yourself with entertainment, sleep, repeat. Days turn into months, months turn into years, and before they realize it, their life hasn't really changed. Not because they lacked intelligence, not because they lacked talent, but because they never stopped long enough to examine their direction. Imagine driving a car across the country without ever checking the map. You might be moving fast, you might be burning fuel, but you could be heading completely in the wrong direction. Daily reflection acts like a life compass. It forces you to check your direction before it's too late. This habit is powerful because it interrupts the autopilot mode that most people live in. When you reflect every day, you begin noticing patterns. The habits that waste your time, the thoughts that hold you back, the opportunities you keep ignoring. And once you see those patterns clearly, something amazing happens. You start making better decisions automatically, not because someone forced you, but because awareness naturally leads to improvement. This is why some of the most successful people in the world keep journals, reflect on their days, and ask themselves difficult questions. They understand something most people miss. Your life improves the moment you start paying attention to it. Now you might be wondering, what does this habit actually look like in practice? The good news is that it doesn't require hours of effort. It only requires 5 minutes a day. At the end of each day, sit somewhere quiet and ask yourself 3 simple questions. First question, what went well today? This question trains your brain to notice progress. Your brain naturally focuses on problems. It evolved to detect danger. But when you consciously look for what went right, you start building confidence and gratitude. The second question, what could I do better tomorrow? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about gentle improvement. Maybe you wasted time. Maybe you avoided something important. Maybe you reacted emotionally to a situation. Reflection turns mistakes into lessons instead of regrets. The third question, what is the one thing I must focus on tomorrow? This question creates clarity. Most people wake up and react to whatever the day throws at them. But when you decide one important action in advance, you begin living with intention instead of reaction. Over time, this 5-minute habit starts rewiring the way you think. You become more aware, more focused, more deliberate, and those small daily improvements begin to compound. After weeks, you start seeing progress. After months, your mindset changes. After years, your entire life looks different. All from a habit that takes 5 minutes a day. Because big transformations rarely come from big moments. They come from small habits repeated consistently. One of the biggest lies people believe about success is that it happens in one big moment. People imagine success like a sudden breakthrough, a viral video, a huge opportunity, a lucky break that changes everything overnight. But real success rarely works that way. Most successful people didn't transform their lives in one day. They changed their lives through small daily wins, small improvements, small progress, small steps forward. The problem is that small wins often feel insignificant in the moment. When you improve just 1% today, it doesn't feel life-changing. But what most people don't realize is that small improvements compound over time. Think about a plane leaving New York and heading to Los Angeles. If the pilot changes the direction by only a few degrees, the plane doesn't end up slightly off course. It ends up in an entirely different city. Life works the same way. When you reflect daily and improve even slightly, you slowly change the direction of your life. Your mindset improves, your habits improve, your decisions improve, and eventually your results improve, all because you started paying attention to your daily actions. The reason daily reflection is so powerful is because it creates awareness. And awareness is the first step toward transformation. Most people don't change because they don't realize what they're doing wrong. They repeat the same patterns without noticing them. They keep making the same mistakes. They keep reacting the same way to stress, problems, and challenges. But the moment you become aware of a pattern, you gain the ability to change it. For example, imagine you reflect one night and realize that you spent 3 hours scrolling on your phone. The next day, that awareness sits in your mind. So when you pick up your phone again, something inside you whispers, "Is this really how I want to spend my time?" That small moment of awareness can interrupt the habit. And that interruption is where change begins. Daily reflection acts like a mirror. It shows you who you are becoming. And once you see that clearly, you naturally start making better choices. There is a principle that explains why small habits are so powerful. It's called the compound effect. The compound effect means that small actions repeated consistently create massive results over time. Think about saving money. If you save a small amount every day, it might not seem like much. But after years of consistency, that small habit can grow into something life-changing. Habits work exactly the same way. Reading 10 pages a day may seem small, but after a year, that's over 3,600 pages of knowledge. Exercising for 20 minutes a day may seem simple, but after months, it transforms your health and energy. Reflecting for 5 minutes a day may seem insignificant, but over time, it transforms your mindset, awareness, and decisions. And your decisions ultimately determine your destiny. That is why one small habit can truly change your life. One mistake people make is believing they need motivation to change their lives. Motivation feels great. It gives you energy. It makes you feel unstoppable. But motivation is temporary. Some days you feel inspired. Other days you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If you rely only on motivation, your progress will always stop and start. But habits don't rely on motivation. Habits rely on consistency. Even when you don't feel motivated, you can still take 5 minutes to reflect on your day. And those 5 minutes keep the momentum going. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning feeling deeply motivated to brush your teeth. You do it because it's part of your routine. When reflection becomes a daily habit like that, it continues shaping your life quietly in the background. And over time, those quiet moments of reflection become the foundation of massive personal growth. If you study highly successful people, you will notice something interesting. Many of them practice some form of daily reflection. They journal, they review their day, they analyze their decisions, they ask themselves powerful questions. This habit allows them to learn faster than everyone else. Instead of repeating mistakes for years, they notice mistakes quickly and adjust their approach. That's how growth accelerates. Imagine 2 people living their lives. One person never reflects. They repeat the same habits for 10 years. The other person reflects every day and improves slightly. After 10 years, those 2 lives will look completely different. Not because one person worked harder, but because one person learned faster. And reflection is what made that possible. For this habit to truly change your life, it needs to become part of your daily routine. The best time to do it is either Before you go to sleep, or early in the morning, sit somewhere quiet, turn off distractions, and simply think about your day. Ask yourself those three powerful questions again. What went well today? What could I improve tomorrow? What is the most important thing I should focus on next? You can write the answers in a notebook, a journal, or even in your phone. The key is consistency. Even if some days your answers are short, even if some days nothing exciting happened, keep the habit alive, because each reflection strengthens your awareness, and awareness slowly transforms the way you live your life. Most people wait for the perfect moment to change their lives. They think they need a new year, a new job, a new opportunity, but life rarely changes through perfect moments. It changes through small decisions made today. Right now, you have the chance to start a habit that could slowly reshape your entire future. It only takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to pause, 5 minutes to think, 5 minutes to learn from your day, and 5 minutes to choose a better direction for tomorrow. Those small moments of reflection may not feel dramatic, but over weeks, months, and years, they build something incredibly powerful: clarity, self-awareness, better decisions, and a life that is intentionally created instead of accidentally lived. So tonight, before you go to sleep, take 5 minutes. Ask yourself the questions, reflect on your day, and take the first step toward becoming the person you want to be. Because sometimes, the habit that changes your life isn't the loudest one. It's the quiet habit that helps you understand yourself better every single day.